Might as well clean off this shithole before I actually start anything, you know? Hey, so first things first, I just wanted to give another reminding shout out that I have a Patreon now. The link is here or it's down below in the description. I also have a needy bird who doesn't know when to stop talking. And for the month of May, the Patreon rewards for the $3 sticker club a glitter hollow of this little frog in a bluebell hat. So cute. And the print, which is actually on the way to me currently, I do not have it right now, is going to be this duck pond that I painted, which if you were on my Patreon, you'll already have noticed that there is this new speed paint up. And honestly, my Patreon is one of the things that I'm really proud of recently, like in terms of my art career. Besides that, my sushi bee pin that I had just made recently, this is definitely a close second. Like, look at how cute this little baby is. He's my baby, I love him. And if you're not into bees, that's cool. I also have crabs, little cranky crabs, A and B grades for those. And if you're not into any of those, I have mystery nudie brunch blind bags, which I thought were pretty fun. I actually have A and B grades of these too on my Etsy. And if you're not into the pins or whatever, that's cool. I also have a bunch of acrylic charms. This is the newest one in my collection, like that vine. Let me see what you have. A knife, my favorite vine, one of them. And I still have some old stock of some older pins, all of the Polka Parrot series, my siren head, and the charm to match this pin. So yes, the link to both my Patreon to support my art career and get exclusive rewards is down below, as well as my Etsy to shop anything else. But like I said, both of them are down below, as well as my Instagram to keep up on any updates. I post reels with memes and trends and extra speed paint kind of style. All that is down below. And now on today's actual speed paint. I found this sheet of watercolor paper. I don't know where I got it from. Part of me thinks it's not even watercolor paper, but I'm using this watercolor paper today. I don't know what it's been but for the past couple weeks, I'd say I've been having some like anxiety, imposter syndrome kind of thing. So I just want to do what I like to do best, is just draw a character, just relax and have fun with it. And like I said, I'm going to be drawing on a piece of paper that I don't even know is watercolor paper. Like I said, I just found it in my drawer. But it's also very on theme because in terms of not using things that aren't watercolor, but I made them, those look familiar because they absolutely should. I felt like using the My Chemical Romance paints again. I love these paints so much, and not just because I made them, but they're My Chemical Romance. Like even on the back of the Danger Days, art is the weapon. I'm using them as paint, it's fine. You know, over on Instagram, people are still getting mad about these. I made a video about this palette. It got 16,000 views and a shout out from HipDot, and people were still at my throat for it. So naturally the next day I made a spiteful video saying, oh no, I made both palettes into paint. What are you gonna do, sue me? I paid for it. I'll get more into that in the voiceover because I just realized I'm rambling now. But we'll move on with character designing. I'm going to mermify my OC Dominic because I haven't drawn him since last November and I love him. I'm gonna get going. Hey, so I wasn't going to do a voiceover, but I kind of just decided, why not? The main reason I wasn't going to do a voiceover was because, as I mentioned in the beginning, you know, I probably did mention in the beginning I'm going to do a voiceover, and then I thought about like, nah, screw it, but I am. But yeah, in the beginning I mentioned that I'm having some imposter syndrome anxiety going on, and I don't know if that's just because of like me being technically unemployed by the government or whatever, but besides that stress of, you know, corporate, like building your way to the top, I'm okay. I've been having some weird anxiety recently, like without going too much into detail. Around last June I had a horrible breakdown, and for some reason that incident has left me severely anxious to go shopping, especially in malls. And okay, that's not relevant, but the point is, now that I'm unemployed, I'm helping my mom with the grocery shopping, like going with her to go grocery shopping. And even when we go out just to like Weiss or Walmart, my anxiety kicks in. And I'm like, oh, that's a fun new thing I have, I guess. Great time for that to start out. At least I'm not working my soul away. But part of me is like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this art thing full time. And then the other part of me is like, no, shut the fuck up. Like, you absolutely deserve this. So like I said, I made the Patreon for this month. I'm really happy with it. I have the craft fair coming up next week, so that's really fun. No, next month. I'm so tired right now. It's like 10:30. I say that like that's really late. I also got up at 7:30 today, so yeah, because of all that anxiety, I just wanted to like home in on something that I'm familiar with, like just drawing my characters. I didn't want to make like a fancy scene or add any additional characters. And then I was like, it's still MerMay. It's only the second week of MerMay. What are we gonna do? I know. Let's mermify a character, and I've had a hunch to draw Dominic. Like, I drew him one time for this, like, TikTok thing. Not TikTok, Reels, whatever the fuck you want to call it. He was actually based off of a bunch of songs, mostly Youngblood and My Chemical Romance. Hence why his name is Dominic, because that's Youngblood's actual name. But yeah, I wanted to draw him again, and I was like, let's mermify him. His original reference, the black and white stripes, are actually like his undershirt, because Youngblood wore that shirt in, I believe that was the original Loser music video. I might be wrong. But yeah, I just really loved Dominic's design, so I was like, I'm gonna mermify him. And painting this was so fun. And as I mentioned again in the beginning, I used the My Chemical Romance paints that I had made out of the eyeshadow palettes, the 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge palette and the Danger Days True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys palette. Those palettes make me so happy as one of my biggest accomplishments, not just because, hey, it's a palette, but because HipDot themselves put it on their page, and they were like, check this out, it's so cool. And I actually have a screenshot of it on their profile on my phone because I'm such a loser. But the amount of people that came at my throat for that was ridiculous. 2 or 3 instances that just off the top of my head because I thought it was funny. One person was saying that it was my fault that she couldn't get her hands on a palette because I bought it just to waste it. And I was like, what do you mean just to? You're a Disney adult who pushes toddlers out of the way for dolls. Like, don't come at me. And a good point that my brother's friend actually brought up was that if you use it as eyeshadow, you're just gonna wipe it away. Using it as watercolor, at least you have something to hold on to it. You know what I mean? Like, to hold it by. The next two, or the other two, are kind of the same premises. Like, they're not from America, but they were going on and on about how it's selfish of me to buy this with my own money, to use it how I want because it wasn't available for them. And I was like, what's selfish about me buying something I want that I worked for? And the one person just like, you don't understand my point. You're not getting my point. Whoever has the most money doesn't mean they get to do whatever they want with it. And it's not like I'm fucking Elon Musk trying to buy Twitter right now to get a picture of Amber Heard and him taken off of Twitter. Fucking no. At the time, I worked 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week in total at a soul-crushing retail job. I think I deserve to have something nice, and I enjoyed making watercolor out of the first palette, so I was going to do the second one. All these comments were on a video that I made on the Danger Days palette. If you go to my Instagram and go through my reels, you can actually see it, and you can see all the comments. And at some point, my brother got involved, and my partner got involved, and I had so many friends backing me up that it was such a good idea. They loved it. Let people do what they want to do. I'm not hurting anybody by buying eyeshadow and turning it into fucking paint, okay? The world has bigger problems, and I don't have the mental stability to deal with people like that. I mean, I do, because it's so much more fun to be nice to trolls now than it is to just get angry. Like my brother, he gets angry. Me, I just like to kill him with kindness. I had somebody the other day, not related to any of this at all, but I ramble. I had somebody the other day put a comment on a post I had made, or a reel, all of my product laid out, and they said that it was such low quality, their sister could do better, and I was like, I knew it was an insult. And I was like, oh, tell your sister that I'm so proud that she's so artistic and talented. And he goes, my sister has autism and poor motor skills. And I was like, well, you know what? She's trying her best. You keep it up, buddy. And he was just getting so mad that I was just not giving in to the trolling or whatever. I ended up reporting the account and it got deleted, so that worked out pretty well. It was just funny. But like, he's coming at me with a meme profile picture, a private account, trying to use autism as an insult, which first of all is fucked up on its own. Like, don't do that to people. My best friend's autistic. Like, fuck off. My brother's autistic. And second of all, if you're on the internet just to piss off people by actively trying to put them down, yeah, you deserve to have your account deleted. There's no point in that. Like, listen, honey, didn't your mama ever say if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all? This voiceover had absolutely nothing to do with MerMay, and it was just me talking, and I don't want to keep it too long. There really is nothing else to say about this besides I wanted to paint Dominic as a merman, and I wanted to use My Chemical Romance paints. That's it. And the reason I wanted to do all that is because I have anxiety and imposter syndrome, and it's not fun being me right now. But you know what? The more I paint, the more I'm gonna feel better, maybe. I want to take the rest of MerMay easy. I did one complicated thing with Vincent and Dante last week, and now I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. But I'm gonna edit this video so that way I can start on the next one immediately because I'm falling behind on my other stuff. So thank you for watching. I will see you next week with another Mermify. Bye!